Hello and welcome to Cutter Builds. We're back with another episode of Icarus, and we're out here in the desert. We're gonna gather a handful of supplies. We've been doing some major base upgrades, and I'm kind of curious to see if I can actually go up these stairs. It looks like I can, as long as they're repaired. Good deal. This is gonna save us a lot of time. We have replaced Moby here. We're getting lots and lots of supplies. Surprisingly, the one material I've ran out of is iron. And oh, would you look at that. So as you can see, I've been doing quite a bit of resource gathering here off camera, and that has resulted in a lot of time passing. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some of this copper on Moby here, keep us from being completely filled up. But that means we're probably not going to be able to bring back all of that gold with us. That's okay. We don't need nearly as much gold. In fact, I'm going to pass up on the gold. I don't need any gold right now. What I need is a little bit more iron to come back with us. So we're going to head back into the caves here and start working our way toward the base. But we're going to stop and grab a couple of these iron nodes that we've passed up on so many times now. And there's another level. You'll notice we're quote-unquote level 50. This is the, I don't know, third or fourth level 50 that I've gotten since we ran last episode. I think I was only level 48 or maybe 49 in the last episode. But I've got all these talent points left to spend as well. And what we've been doing is focusing on building out the base, and resource gathering is worth lots and lots of experience points here. And so that has allowed me to unlock quite a few blueprint points. I have spent some of the blueprint points on various building blueprints. So we've unlocked a lot of things on the tech tree. Nothing, I would say, groundbreaking. Most of the stuff that we've unlocked has been building related. While my stamina fills back up here, we'll jump in here and take a quick look at it. I unlocked on the tier 2 side a bunch of the interior wall spots, as well as these stone half pitches. Finding out that I can do half pitched roofs has been amazing, and these interior wall pieces look quite nice inside the base. And so we're going to be focusing on finishing off our base overhaul today. I think we've been out of space inside of the base for far too long, and it's time to do something about it. We did replace Moby, as I mentioned earlier. We've actually replaced Moby twice in my resource gathering escapades. I have found that this mount is very, very fragile, and so I can't leave him unattended for even a moment. And we've started naming our mounts the same thing, but with numerals afterwards, just to keep track of how many pet deaths we've had. So this is Moby the Third. You can see in the lower left-hand corner there. And unfortunately, we did actually lose Buffy a couple of times as well when we were gathering resources, just not paying attention. Turn around, Buffy's dead. And so I didn't capture much of that on camera. Like I said, it wasn't terribly interesting. No great adventures were had, just busting up rocks, cutting down trees, etc. However, the base I have put a little bit of work into. Not a lot, but I have wanted to play around with the different building things and kind of come up with a plan for how we're going to approach the base. Sorry, I'm trying to get this guy to stick around here. We're greatly encumbered. We'll do a base tour here as soon as I dump all the things off of my inventory. Alright, I've got all of that copper and iron cooking now. Let me I'm going to drag this iron back up. We want to make sure we're focusing on the iron ingots to start, because I'm going to need a lot of nails to keep building the stone walls and such for our exterior. So I'll go ahead and get a handful of those started. As you can see, the workshop hasn't really changed much, other than I did end up just moving a couple things over to the corner. We're going to redo all of this, but I wanted to wait until we get the base overhaul kind of up and running before we jump into that. So let's go ahead and look at the big differences. The big differences is I've moved the generators out of this room. I built a little addition onto the side of the workshop here where we're running 2 generators full time. And then I've got a third right now. I don't need it yet, so I just use this one. I turn it on when I'm going to go switch the fuel cans out on these other 2 so that I have enough power on the grid. I've got enough spots already wired up here to put 2 more generators as our power increases, or our power demands increase, I should say. We've got the windowed walls all the way around the back. We kind of cleaned up our wiring here. I can't remember how much of this I did on or off camera, but the electrical goes out and the plumbing comes in right over here. Oh, I'm sorry, only the plumbing comes in over here. I think the electrical actually comes out right here and runs out. So having the generator room off to the side there made a lot of sense. We had the room, and if we come into the next area here, before we just had the wall up here and I hadn't quite decided what we were going to do. And what I discovered is these half-pitched roof things means that I can get the roof going without making my structure a lot taller. And so I kind of like how that looks. It's got kind of a almost a barn style look to it. We've decorated with some pillars. We've got the beams running across here just to give it a little bit of structural definition. And I kind of like the look of the double door with the stairs going either way here. So this worked out really well, I thought. We're up against our wall on this side, which is fine. But like I mentioned, the generator room, which is right here, we had just enough room to set up these foundations, and we'll go upstairs and look at the other changes here in a second. But as you can see, we had this cliff that kind of jutted out here, and so that worked perfectly with the foundations. And so above the generator room here, we have made a living area, a bedroom type area. We've got the fireplace and the bed moved up here now. And I kind of like being up here with the big double windows everywhere. You can look out on the surrounding area. Gives us a nice view of what's going on, especially when you can kind of hear something hitting the fence or whatnot. I can look out the window and check and make sure the animals are okay there. So this worked out really nice. And then the thought is up here with the garden area. We've went to half-pitched roofs in here as well so that this isn't quite as tall. That's worked out really well. Let me manage the garden real quick. All right, so as you can see, we've got the garden here. We're getting all the modifiers from the greenhouse still. And I've got this nice interior wood floor here, which looks really good. And so the thought being that we'll replace these stone walls here and here with interior walls once I get the roof finished. And we're going to knock out this bit of roof that's in the middle here from the current workshop. And I'm going to floor this area all in and then have a shallow pitched roof up above like this. And then our house won't be super tall, but it'll still look pretty good. And we'll have a lot of room on the second floor to do something with, as well as a single-story workshop area below, and a nice wide foyer here that we can do something with as well. So this area is going to be real nice. This area will be more like a workshop area with all the machines and stuff and the noisy bits. And then I think the kitchen is going to end up being either right in this area or possibly right out here in between the living area, the bedroom area, and the garden. So that's the thought. Now, I was able to get this roof up and everything looks good. If we just grab a floor here so you can see we're all solid green here, and I think it's because these pillars are in the middle here. I'm not sure, but over here you can see this roof is already starting to turn a little bit yellowish, and I couldn't get the next parts to connect here. And so I think what I need to do is get this all knocked out, put some pillars up here to support that roof, and see how that operates. And so that's why we were running back to grab some iron and such because we've hit a point where I didn't have enough nails to keep going. So let me grab a couple stacks of this iron here, and we'll go make a whole bunch of iron nails here. Luckily, iron is a very common resource for us, so I don't feel too bad about just mass producing some nails. I'm sure I'm going to need a lot of these pillars over the course of the build, so I'm going to go ahead and just build a full 12. Now, at some point, I may switch out the pillars on the interior of the base with some interior wood-style pillars. I'm not sure if the pillars themselves have like a strength value where the wood pillars won't support a stone structure or anything like that. I haven't gotten that far into things, to be honest. And so we're going to be just kind of winging things as we go through this. Now, let me see here. We're going to go up top and bust out that wall and start figuring out where things go real quick here. All right, there we go. We've got all of that part of the wall busted out here. You can see we had a wires connected to that. We'll have to figure that part out here in a bit. However, I'm going to go ahead and bring these pillars up in the middle section here. Something like this. And let me bust that piece out here. I'm going to need to put that back, but this is where my ladder was. I could have just moved the ladder over, I suppose. In fact, let me put that wall back now before I forget that that's a necessary component. And if I just bring these pillars up like so, I should now be able to put these next roof sections on. I don't actually have any of those roof sections. Let's go down here and see what it's going to take to make some. It's going to take iron nails. And because I knocked my roof out, I now don't have shelter. Let me see if I can put a roof over it like so and get some shelter. That'll do. And let's move our ladder over here to somewhere like this so we can be getting up and down a little bit easier. Hopefully there's a floor there. Oh, there's not. Well, let's fix that real quick. Oh, I don't even have a floor. Everything is just a problem at the moment. We'll get there. And so now that's a nice green color. That's a nice green color. So this should work out a lot better for us. We've got support for the roof. And we'll be able to build up this wall that's facing here to cover the exterior portions. Let me just move these beams up while I'm thinking about it so that we have full support there. And yeah, this means we're just going to need to build the rest of this roof so that we've got plenty of shelter underneath the core part of the workshop here. I'm probably going to do interior flooring in this whole area. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started as well. I think I've got no interior flooring left in my inventory here. I do have some stone floors, though, if I need them. Okay. So I think the plan is to leave the bottom floors here, the workshop areas, in stone, but to put interior flooring up on the second floor here. So I'm going to go ahead and just get that going. This does use copper nails, which has been a little bit more expensive. However, given the sheer amount of copper that I just brought back, it's not that big of a deal. So I'm going to get that interior flooring going so that we can get the workshop covered back up, and we will check back in just a few moments. All right, I've got our nice wood flooring in here, and we need to focus on getting this roof done up next. And so I'm going to go ahead and just keep tossing the roof pieces in here. I'm a little bit nervous about support on the roof here. I'm not quite sure how this is going to work out. It looks to be supported, though, so if I start putting these up there, that's a little yellowish orange. That's a little yellowish orange. I'm expecting this is going to be significantly more so because we're starting to get a little far away from our edges here. I might have to run a beam down the middle here or something. I'm not really sure yet, but I'm going to need a lot more roof pieces, and I should probably get our walls over here as well. We do have quite a bit of walls, so let me see. I guess I should have counted while I was up there. We're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 of those shallow roof pieces. So let me get those going here. I'm going to go ahead and grab my interior walls here as well, because we're going to try and take that down once we get our roof up. And we do have some bad weather coming in here, so I want to hurry up and get this roof on so that our wooden floors here don't get destroyed by the weather. That's the fun part about building in Icarus, is you're always kind of under the pressure of the weather to get things done. And this is a perfect example. I'd like those to be windows, but I feel like we've got to hurry up and get a roof on, so I'm going to worry about that in a minute here. We're going to just make sure we're going to have a roof, and oh, I've miscounted. I need 4 more of those shallow roof pieces. Well, that's all right. We should have plenty of materials. I can hear the wind coming, so I've got to go here. It's going to be a doozy. There's some red bits of this storm coming as well. Let's see, I need a lower roof sections for this. Really nervous about the color of that roof section, but we'll figure it out. I'll probably end up with some beams here in the middle somewhere after we figure this out, probably right in the middle of this big room. I will also need some more short walls here, or the shallow angled things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 6 more of them. All right, let's do it. And we made 6 of these, and I just realized we'll probably need some on the back wall too. Oh well, we'll get there. This is the upper left half pitch, like so. The lower left. The lower right. The upper right. And I was hoping I could do like a inverted half pitch on these, but that might be something else. Let me see if that's something we can unlock on the tech tree, maybe? No. I know I can do like angled walls that are inverted, I think. I've got angled walls somewhere. Let me go find those. I thought I could at least. Yeah, I can do angled wall inverted. Let's see how that looks for this bit in the middle. Maybe we'll have kind of an arch type deal here. Something like that might be cool. Angled wall inverted left. That actually looks kind of cool on this side. Yeah, I like that. Let me jump over here and see how that looks. Yeah, that's not too bad. Now, the question is, what do I do with these other areas? Do I maybe just put the wall in like that and then have some stairs that go up? That could look pretty cool. I do have these interior wood ramps. I could put a double stair up, something like that. Would look really nice. Right in here. Yeah, that's looking pretty snazzy. Alright, well in that case, let me grab 4 more of these shallow angled wall pieces so we can finish off this bit of the base. Make sure I don't have any. Oh, I've already got 2, so I only need 2 more. And as usual, I can't seem to manage to count today, so we'll need 2 more of these. But we'll put in a little bit of a window up here, let some more light in on that side of the house. And then all of these stone walls I'm going to actually replace out with wood here in a moment. But let's get our last 2 bits up here. The right and the left bit. There we go. Those are all done. Now I can bust out these walls. Oh my goodness, everything needs to be repaired. Is the downside of having this all have been externally facing for some period of time here. Is it a lot of it took a little bit of weather damage. There we go. I'm gonna pick up our doors here for sure. And part of me has been actually thinking about leaving this open like this now that I see it. I like that a lot, and look at all the light that it brings into the room here, so I think we are going to do that. Let me bust down these walls real quick. I want to see what this does to the structural integrity. Should leave everything there. We've still got some problems up in the middle. I'm going to be very overweight and unable to move after picking up all these walls. That's all right. If I do that though and just double check again, we got a little bit of a structural integrity problem in the middle of the room there, but everything else is looking quite snazzy like this. I dig it a lot, so we're gonna go with this. I think I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave this whole spot over here open or if we'll enclose at least some of this back in with interior walls at some point. But I'm quite happy with it how it is, and we did bring an electrical plug up here because I was planning to put the kitchen in the corner area here. So we'll leave that there. I've got to rerun all the wires in the workshop down below here because we've got stuff coming up through the floor, and I want to keep this area nice and clean looking. So let's see here. I'm going to put some pillars in. I think I want to get the interior pillars though for the upstairs here. So I'm going to go ahead and dump some of these building materials off so I can move around, and I'll unlock the interior pillars and we'll see if we can sort out the best way to approach that. Tech tree. Oh, I've already got interior pillars unlocked. Perfect. So let me go ahead and just see if we can build a few of those. I don't know. I might need 6. Let's start with 6 and see how it goes. All right. I think the best spot to do this is going to be right smack in the middle of this room. Oh, we've got the wrong pillars out here. I'm going to put these here and here. And these are going to go up to support the roof. This one isn't actually supported by anything. So this is 1, 2, and then the third joint over. So this is it this one? Oh, this one is a pillar. It's just not supported by anything underneath. Well, it's probably time for us to figure out how to move a few more of these benches. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. Get all of those components. Ooh, I don't have the inventory room for this whole experience. Where did I put the other benches? Looks like in here. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that in there. And the building supplies have been going in here. So let's drop this stuff off to make room. Ooh, that's a lot of stuff. Let's see if it'll all fit. It does, with one spot to spare for the composter itself. So let's go ahead and get this thing moved somewhere out of the way here. I think since this is for fuel, I'm going to put the composter in the generator room. That's going to make the most sense to me. I'm going to put all of these fuel cans in here and get all of this other stuff going. At some point here, I'm going to have to figure out how to get water into here just to keep this composter running at max efficiency, but I'm not too worried about it. And we've got enough fuel to keep going for a bit. Now, if I was smart, I would have picked up the kitchen bench first because I think I have to have the kitchen bench placed to place the stove, but we didn't think about that, so I'm going to grab that. Where did I put the stove? Let me go ahead and make sure I've got the stove in my inventory too. And we'll go ahead and put both of these down up here. I think the plan was to try and put the kitchen in right up here somewhere, so we'll do that. I'm going to put them right in front of this window so that we've got a nice view while we're up here cooking. We can always relocate them later if we need to. I like how these snap to each other. I wish that I could snap them to the terrain if I wanted to. Maybe I missed an option to do that and I wasn't paying attention, but I haven't seen an option to snap the kitchen benches yet. So we've got that. I like having this door to the outside, out of the bedroom area, because I can get right down to our animals and take off for an adventure without having to run through the main part of the house here. I'm going to pick all this garbage up and bring it right back up into the kitchen bench. There we go. Aside from having a water source run up there, that's all good to go. I'm not too worried about the water right now. Really, all I'm trying to do is get to a point where I can bust this floor open and see that there is indeed not a foundation under there. So let's take this, and as long as I'm here, I'm gonna try and put some foundations under here. I'm gonna put one right there and right there. Eventually I want to have complete foundations under all of this. So with those foundations in place now, I believe if I pop a pillar back out into my inventory, these are now blue, which means all of our roof is fully supported. Looking amazing. All right. Well, let's go ahead and sleep real quick here. There we go. We've now got the new day coming here soon. I did get reinforced doors as well. I think these look better than the base wood door, so we're going to be building a few more of those. I guess I should get a couple for the front door at a minimum right now. No sense having the front door be wide open to the world. I think I build the reinforced doors over here, though. I need iron and iron nails. We've got some iron nails here in the stone bench. Awesome. So let me go ahead and build, I don't know, I'm going to build 4 of these just because I know I'm going to need more than just the 2 on the front door. We're going to have some side exits out of the building here as well. We'll grab 2 of these, though, to start. And I'm going to get these right on the front door here. Let's head out here. Let's see how this is starting to look. This is starting to look pretty nice. I'm digging this. I like having a little bit of variation here too, where we've got the lower part, the upper part. I think it's starting to fit together well. The chimney off on the side. Yeah, I'm liking this. So while we wait for the beautiful sunshine to come up here, oh, look at that. Isn't that just a gorgeous amount of light coming here through the sunroom? I like it. Let's go ahead and jump in here and take a look at our talents. These are the last 2 talent points that we're going to get. I was really hoping to get that further down this tree. We didn't make it there, though. And so I'm going to have to kind of think about what we're going to do. Ooh, we might grab this, and having them grow faster at night is kind of interesting, but not probably all that useful. Crafted objects will gain the fertilizer 1 alteration, negative 50% consumption of fertilizer. I will probably start doing fertilizer at some point, although honestly we grow so many crops so fast I don't really feel like I need a ton of them. This is the one I really wanted, was the thing where they don't wither when they've grown, because I just forget about them so often. But we're not going to get there. I guess I will slow down food spoiling, because I think more and more we're going to be going on longer term adventures here, packing stuff out with us and heading out on the road. And so having that food not spoil in our inventory is going to be really useful. And I've got one last solo point to spend here. I'm really tempted to spend it not on maximum health, because I feel like our max health is pretty good, but maybe health regeneration. Melee damage could be useful. Honestly, my gun does a lot of damage. I don't know if I need more firearm damage. Food effect duration. Now that is a good buff. Let's grab that. Sounding good. So we've got all of our solo buff, or we've got all of our solo points spent. I've got lots of tech points available now, and we're just going to keep spending these. I'm surprised by myself. I don't usually spend points on decorative things, trying to make things look nice, but it's been kind of fun playing around with it here, so we're going to go with that. I do think, is this wood composter what's going to make the fertilizer items is change your trash into fertilizer with this simple composter. 1000% rate of food spoiling. Well, I've already got plenty of spoiled food. I wonder where I actually craft the fertilizer. I think there's like a chemistry bench that I haven't crafted yet. I think if I look even all the way up here at tier 4, yeah, I've got growth fertilizer and high quality fertilizer. So this is going to give me, speed, but minus to yield versus speed and yield. Oh, that's really cool. Well, we're going to start doing stuff like building all these extra benches here eventually. I'm going to put a point into that just so I have it when the time comes. I really want to do all of these nice things as well, but I'm not going to spend all those points just yet. But we are going to build a nicer marble style kitchen here, I think, and start working on finishing out some of the interior components here at some point. However, I'm thinking I'm going to try and wrap up the episode here. We've had a lot of fun building out this new base. Let me see if we can find a great way to see the whole base. I think if I go into photo mode, maybe I can zoom out here. Man, I'm going to have a real hard time finding a spot to get a screenshot here. I'm surprised that it doesn't let me zoom farther away from my character than this for photo mode. So maybe I'll come way back here and we can try this again. That's quite the sight here. The house is looking nice. I think the next thing we might need to do is restructure the yard area here, make it not quite so janky looking, maybe expand it a little bit, put the barn into maybe a little bit better of a spot, not quite so close to the exterior wall. I don't know. We'll have to see what we can come up with, but this has been a lot of fun. And as long as we're here, let's go take a look at this house from the back, because I think that it's going to look quite nice from back here as well, with the sunroom and everything else going on here. We jump up into photo mode here, try and fly up into the air a bit. Yeah, that's looking a lot better than our original structure here. So we're finally getting into a building that is something I think we can be proud of. We're learning a lot about the building system, and next episode, I probably won't do all of it on episode, but next episode I will work on the interior parts of the base. We'll get the workshop machines all built. We're going to go full electric here, so I'm going to replace all of our benches in the workshop here with their electric counterparts, and really get us fully into tier 4. I think we've got enough materials to make most of the stuff that we have in here. So yeah, we'll be checking in there and jumping into some more adventures as soon as we get that going. My plan is to head out and hit the rest of the world bosses here soon, and then start checking out some of these other cool things that have been getting added into the game recently, like the Thumper. I'm not sure how that's going to go for us. I'm sure it's going to be quite the adventure when we do get that going, but I think that's all for today. Keterk out.